Tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons and Dragons. That one. Happy New Year! Welcome! 2025 and all that it entails. No, about 7. Take a sip. I'm gonna do a sip. Hold on.
There's all good things.
There we go. Before we get into our first session of the year, we have some announcements to get through. Beginning with our sponsor of the evening, Thorum, makers of unique wedding bands, pendants, and watches. And to talk about them, we've got a very special animal-loving guest. From the LA Zoo, please welcome the head zookeeper, Jerry McAllister Sudds.
Hello, yes, wonderful. Yes, I am Jerry McAllister Sudds. The animal kingdom is fascinating and beautiful, and I have brought some friends from the LA Zoo to meet you all tonight.
Well, this has to do with Thorum, though, right?
Matthew, as we say in the zookeeping biz, hold your equus cabuluses. That's horses.
Cool.
Now, our first animal friend is Bandit. Come on, bring out Bandit.
What's up, Bandit?
I'm a professional. Oh, yeah.
I just want this for 4 hours.
Bandit is a Tibetan long-tailed macaque. And he hibernates for 10 and a half months per year. Careful, because Bandit has 2 very sharp thumb claws called scoopers that they used to dig in the plateaus of South Asia.
That's extremely cute, Sam. But what about our sponsor, Thorum?
Matthew, it sounds like you've got ants in your pants, Matthew. Next up, I'd like you to meet Teddy Kennedy.
Oh my goodness.
Here's Teddy Kennedy. Wonderful. Teddy Kennedy is a rare saltwater alligator from the Antangle Bay in Madagascar. They lay 12 eggs at a time in pods called scoopers. And I'm pleased to say that Teddy Kennedy is pregnant.
Okay, well, first off, I don't think it's an alligator. And second, we really need to know about Thorum.
Oh boy, it sounds like curiosity killed the mat. Am I right? All right. Our next animal friend is Thorum. Yes. Thorum makes unique wedding bands out of everything from meteorite to whiskey barrel.
I get it now.
And new minimalist watches featuring Hawaiian koa and California redwood and super cute pendant necklaces. Oh, careful. Give him a treat.
Treaty.
Thorum ships every single ring for free, has over 10,000 5-star reviews, and every purchase includes a free silicone activity band and walnut wood ring box, and this one's pregnant. And the walnut ring box are called...
I'm going to assume it's probably scoopers?
Scoopers. That's right. Wonderful. Well, whether you need a wedding ring, anniversary ring, or just an awesome ring, head to Thorum.com and use code Critical Role for 20% off everything. Matt, macaque to you.
That was my favorite one. My best read of 20. Way to start off the year.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Wait.
Awesome.
I was just playing a character, guys. It's me. It's Sam.
Oh, shit.
Oh my gosh. You were so knowledgeable.
Man of so many talents. Thank you, Sam. Travis, you got an announcement to make?
I do. Off of that, it's officially 2025, which means we are kicking off our year-long celebration of our 10th year anniversary of Critical Role.
What the fuck?
Years. You guys, that means looking forward to exclusive merch, live shows, conventions, so many conventions and live shows, more content, and all sorts of fun surprises to thank you, the critters, our partners, and all the wonderful people who have joined the party along the way. So please keep your eyes peeled for our 10-year anniversary logo throughout the year, as that's how you know something special is coming your way. And honestly, we couldn't be more excited to share this milestone with you, and thank you for everything. It's 10 years in the can, and
10 years.
10 years
To come. 10 years.
10 years to come.
You had harvested
Crushed
and then
it.
canned.
Scoopers.
Bring the Save us.
All right, awesome. Sam, you have an announcement, I believe.
I do, as Sam Riegel now. We know it's January, but the Christmas spirit lasts all year round.
Oh, I
In
love it.
case you missed it, pre-orders are available now for our vinyl editions
Yes.
of our Critical Role Presents Winter's Crest, a holiday album. It's so cool, guys. The songs are awesome. The vinyl is even better. It comes with a standard version and a signed deluxe edition that comes with a ton of extra goodies, variant cover art, a vinyl sticker pack, a postcard, and a Polaroid pack.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Packed with postcards. Sorry.
Learn more and pre-order now at critroll.com/Critmas vinyl. I bet people will spell that wrong. Critmas vinyl.
Yes.
Yes.
Christmas.
Scoopers.
Hashtag together.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Alrighty, friends. I believe that concludes our announcements. Let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of
Wait.
Critical Role.
It's Thursday night. One by one we climb until we reach the top. 2 by 2 we fall. Will we beat our end or meet our destiny? Hold your breath and roll.
How do you want to do this?
It's Thursday night. All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. Who knows what will happen? He might. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight.
From the healer to the renegade, we all share the same goal. Adding more allies, taking more chances. Hold your breath and roll.
You can certainly try.
It's Thursday night.
All ye critters, come join us. It's time to continue our flight. There is magic and mystery. From darkness our friendship will rise. But one thing's for sure, we never give up on the fight. Oh, get ready. It's Thursday night.
And welcome back. So, last we left off, Bell's Hells, with the aid of 2 other disparate groups of heroes, have managed to head towards the depths of Ruidus, trying to follow the footprints and current aspirations of the Ruby Vanguard and Ludinus Deleth. After discovering through a vision that your mother was seemingly captured by Ludinus and being transferred, her abilities and possibly her physical being transferred and destroyed into Ludinus through a newly constructed quintessence array. You raced through the subterranean tunnels, befriended a number of the mycetes and the strange fungal culture that exists within the lower layers of Ruidus itself, interfaced with the core of that mycelium network and the kind of hive mind of the mycete culture, in which you also granted the seed of the All Minds Burn to whatever end that might be. Trekking further on, bypassing some challenges, stumbling past others, eventually you came to the outer depths of the prime pillar, whereupon a fissure in the thick glass led you deeper within. The tree trunk-like ringed layers of stone and glass revealing themselves as you began to wind deeper into the central pillar that represents, it seems to be, a path to the core of the moon. There, you came upon a troop of Exultant that had surrounded Ludinus, keeping him contained within some sort of a psychic shell, while he was on the cusp of absorbing the remnants of your mother. You then quickly sprang into action, defeating and dispelling and disrupting the concentration of these exaltants until one by one they fell, with the last one crumbling. The shield was absolved and destroyed. A rapid series of actions pulled your mother, Liana, from the jaws of destruction and ash. And your resident blue bard here immediately locked Ludinus within a dense force cage spell.
Let's go. Sorry.
In this moment, here within the outer layers of the prime pillar, Ludinus seems to nod with a strange bit of approval to what has just transpired, as you see the arching, flaring veins of purplish, exultant energy crawling up around his neck and his arms, his hair beginning to float and flow around him. The essence of Liliana's exultant, Ruidus-born gift being transferred, albeit temporarily, to Martinet Ludinus Deleth. And here, as you all stand at the immediate end of an intense conflict, you catch your breath and look face to face with what looks to be a very calm and smug villain. As you all stand there, Ludinus kind of paces back and forth within the cage, like a calm lion, tiger, just kind of looking about the rest of your troop.
A liger, if you
A
will.
liger, if you will.
Awesome.
Very well. I suppose you have your mother back. That's one thing before the end, I suppose. If it is to be an end.
What do you think? I thought that's not what you wanted.
Well, it's an end of something. End of an age. But there's so much potential, so much possibility for what's to come. Wouldn't you agree? You all wear the weathered scars of experience and challenged disaster on your faces since even the last time we met. There's a dark wisdom in being more worldly. And with each step you take, I deign to take a guess that perhaps you see things a little bit closer to the way I do.
DM, while he's starting to talk, can I start to slink to the right? Maybe stealthily, but not entirely concerned. I want to try and... There seems to be a tunnel over here, right?
Right, there is a
right down here.
crevasse, yeah.
Can I try and just not draw his eye and go explore that tunnel while he chats?
Sure, go ahead and make a stealth check for me if you don't mind.
16, 28.
Okay. As everyone's kind of having this moment of listening to what seems to be his opening to a conversation, you kind of quietly kind of delve out of the edge of his periphery and begin to ever so carefully head down this little pathway. So we'll come to you in a little bit.
I also have a question.
Yes.
He's got the miniature at least is holding a staff.
He has a staff.
Yeah. Has he always had that?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that look like?
It is a long, thin, kind of brass and gold looking staff. It's like tightly wrapped towards the center of where he grips it, and it kind of separates off into two prongs with like an elvish lattice work that seems to weave between them, almost like a strange golden two-pronged fork of magical attuned energy.
Thank you.
Great for catching fish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big camper.
He slipped just now.
What?
He slipped. I don't even think he heard it.
I don't think I heard it. I know, but what's context, Ashton? Context.
Well, I mean, there's some truth to it. We saw what we saw. And I'll admit, there are some things I have shifted around in my head a bit. But you immediately went to the end of an age. You had to be reminded about the beginning of a new one. That tells me a lot about where you're at.
I love when the insolence of youth tends to believe it knows far more than it can. Read into my words what you wish. This isn't a chess game. This is a conversation. I have nothing to hide. I never have. At every single point, I have been nothing but forthright and honest with you. And that does not change here.
In my mom's head, I'm going to say, how much of that is a lie?
I mean, as far as I'm aware,
Oh gosh, I can still talk to her in her head. Oh,
you can, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is her talking back to you,
Okay.
but she's still like, she's barely. I mean, she's much healthier thanks to the potion, but like she's still significantly drained. You just hear it's like, I mean, I had no reason to doubt him. His methods and means are obfuscated and twisted in all manner of ways, but I mean, I followed him because I believed him. For better, for worse, I still do.
For worse, Mama.
She kind of nods.
I mean, that's the trouble, though. I mean, I believe you. I don't think you've been lying at all. I don't honestly think any of us really think you're lying. And yet we all don't like you.
I think that you can lie by omission.
I think he lied when he said he didn't want to take Predathos himself.
I know.
You proved yourself.
What I was going to ask, did that plan change?
Plans often change by unexpected circumstances. He looks over towards your mother, kneeling on the ground, still catching her breath. Liliana was to be the vessel from the beginning. But as a person, as I who has survived as long as I have, you have a number of contingencies in case things don't pan out. And upon discovering a not altogether unexpected deceit, I had to resort to,
Doing it yourself. Yeah. You're always going to be the best man for the job, Ludinus.
Yeah, you're an altruist.
So is this the plan? Gonna make a beeline for the core. See who gets there first. Little bit of a race. I love races.
But you don't have to work anymore. You can sit it out. And we can just leave now. And go take the spot.
I agree, the gods have to be dealt with.
and do what?
Just not you. That's the trouble. Never you.
Would it change things?
If you wanted.
heard that maybe we have our own plans of taking on Predathos?
And what would you do as the vessel? Either of you.
The beginning of a new age, Ludinus.
Yeah, it would be so amazing. I mean, I would just eat everyone. And I think Imogen would we would just have like all of the snacks. And we would start with you.
I do not begrudge you for being the children you are. Honestly. But here we are at the edge of destiny, and I think we're all owed to each other a bit of openness.
We're
Isn't it
being
weird?
open.
Yeah.
It's such a short list of people who've called me a child in the last year or so. Weirdly, most of them are gods at this point. I think there's something wrong with you now. I think you might have lived too long. I definitely know that's what's wrong with them.
I don't disagree. I have no aspirations for surviving far beyond this, especially given the context of my temporary imbuement.
I think it looks cool.
But I know it needs to be done, and if a sacrifice must be made, I will make it myself. If you truly intend to align with my goals and become the vessel to the destruction of this a tyrannical family, then I would not be in your way either. But I'd walk in very strong lockstep. Then again, your bloodline is already proven duplicitous. Why should I even believe you?
Maybe you shouldn't.
Tell me your hardships. What are the things that drive you to survive here to the ends of the ruddy Moonville omen? What is it you wish to change?
I want people to have a chance. To change their fates. Too often I feel like what's been set in motion can't be undone. And I think that's in part due to the gods. I do.
We didn't quite get to finish our conversation last time in Aor.
You kind of ran off.
But I'm curious. In this past century, have you ever thought to just ask the gods yourself?
To what end?
To what end? You might be surprised.
They do answer sometimes.
Sometimes. My family once long followed the path of the lawbearer. My mother and father, the most devout followers. Living in her holy light and divine protection, marching to the decrees of guidance and the promised order and peace of Alexandria. The divine law. Through all the terror and destruction of the calamity, they never wavered in their faith. Not once. My earliest memories still ring with their words, "She will protect us." Our love and devotion is stronger than any magic, burns brighter than any fire. The Lawbearer will see us through. My family was collateral damage in the battle between the Lawbearer and the crawling king that destroyed our home city of Azana. Words of remembrance from the lips of a foreign priest was all I was given in recompense. The fallen forgotten and abandoned. When their gods stepped away from the smoldering ruin, they rot. My conviction was forged that day, and has remained unwavering since, here, on the precipice of truth and triumph. No, I do not care for their words, their platitudes. They only care about them.
I don't understand, Lidness. You said over and over again that sacrifices must be made. Would you have rather let the Lawbearer have the crawling king free, loose on the world?
You don't have to have faith in the gods. But what about faith in your mother? What do you think she would make of all of this?
You know nothing of my mother.
But the gate about 10?
What did you do afterwards? Where did you go? What happened? How did this happen?
I wandered. I met many survivors, others who were seeking a meaning to all of it, looking to their great and wondrous, glorious, golden gods for direction, for an apology, for comfort, for direction. And in that silence, one by one, they all walked away. So yes, sometimes sacrifices must be made. But the good remember those who made that sacrifice. I remember them when others do not.
Why did the gods walk away, do you think?
Truly, you've seen it.
I saw what I saw.
They fear their children. They fear we have too much ambition.
Maybe they feared the collateral damage they were wreaking upon the world.
Some maybe. But it's very easy for even the best to be spoiled.
What happened to your family?
I literally just told you.
They died.
They died. But did you get to say goodbye?
Of course not.
Insight check.
Make an insight check.
You acted weird.
Do I believe him?
15.
15?
He's hovering over.
After a whisper from lewdness.
Can I quickly judge so far? Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good speech.
Pretty
so far.
decent speech.
Yeah.
Is that a 6 or a 9, or are you holding it
6.
upside down?
Could go up to 7, depending on what happens next.
Got a rating system.
His villain monologue.
I hate this. Why did I do this?
With friends like these.
I'm.
No, what'd you mark?
Nothing.
This is how I ruin everything.
What were your parents' names?
Yes, what was your mother's name?
Do you remember, since it's been so long? And it's very important, as we've learned in the past, to learn the names of people's parents.
I didn't know the names of mine until very recently. As someone whose parents had faith and died, and I was cast into the middle of nowhere and blamed the gods and was left without anything. I cannot believe how much of your story makes sense to me. And I cannot believe how different we both came out. I'm still an asshole, don't get me wrong.
It's true.
Fuck. What is wrong with you? Get over it. Grow up.
What began my journey was but a spark. And there are many more stories to tell that have made me who I am today. But what of you, she who sits between many thrones? What would you do with the power of the God Eater?
I would probably like make sure all of my friends have like everything they want. Like get them all like a nice house, like whatever kind of food they want.
I don't think it's like being a genie. This is it.
I don't know. I've never been a
What kind of
god.
god I would be. So I would just like give anybody what they wanted. When I want it. So clearly I'm the
I
man
think
for
you'd
the job.
you'd be the trader god, wouldn't you?
Probably,
Just a little bit.
probably.
A little bit.
I probably would not, shouldn't be the receptacle for the, but I don't know what I
I
would
don't
do.
know. I mean, we can get a
I don't
house
know, it
out
could
of
go either way. It could go either way with this one.
And why are you here? Why are you here?
I am here.
It's a great question.
Great questions.
Like, what am I doing?
What am I doing here? I'm here because I'm very curious. And if the world is going to burn, I would like to have a front row seat.
That I can respect. What do you want?
What do I want?
Yes.
Well, Imogen was telling the truth. We've talked about this. There is merit to giving a little bit more fate and destiny back to the people. I've learned quite a lot over these journeys. The gods were not the first one here. Who speaks for them? Who speaks for the Titans? For the elementals? Who crafted this earth? Someone should, even though they're long gone. But I'm here really just because I kept walking through open doors. As I always have. Some that have gotten me killed. Twice. But we're here now. Someone has to speak for those who can't speak for themselves.
And what of you? Small, brave Ashari.
I don't know that there's much I need to talk about. I'd rather just shut up and do. Your malice is predictable. People have been spilling garbage from their mouths like yours for eons. There's nothing new about you other than the scale, Deleth. Honestly, I can't wait for you to come out of that box.
In your head, you hear, I love you so much, Oram.
Now that is forthright honesty. And it's appreciated.
Go fuck yourself.
And you, wanderer of the silken sails, what's your part in all this with these strange beings of fate and destiny? What do you want?
I've always just been in it for the ride. But now that I'm here, I feel like I want to help steer a little. Can I ask you a question? Is it allowed? I feel like there are rules.
I have been nothing but present.
So benevolent.
I know you think you're right. I don't know, maybe you are, but do you think what you're doing is good? Do you think that what you're doing is good? In your mind's eye, do you think you're right?
Not everything I've done is good. But it's all been to serve what I know to be right.
Ha, gotcha.
It's perfect. The best villains always think they're right.
Wait. We think we're right too.
Don't think too hard about it. Okay. Really good, guys. I'm 90% sure. No.
I don't know if that's accurate either. No,
Am I a villain?
pretty messy.
At least we don't have illusions that this is a means to an end. That's what makes a villain.
What makes a villain is opposing perspective. That's all it is. That's all it's ever been. And you, fiendling in training, you're a strange outlying thread in this motley crew. What is it you want? They wish the gods to perhaps be gone. Perhaps our goals are aligned in different ways. But you are a conundrum.
I must admit I share some of your distinct history with the gods. And have lost faith as well. I also, although everybody here, including me, thinks you're an asshole, I'm sorry about your family. I know that that's rough and can change a person. Frankly, I don't know what I want. And I feel like being around people who do can help guide a person. But you're alone and have no one to guide you. And haven't for a long time. That must be very hard. I'm sorry. And I'm going to just sort of walk away from him and walk to a different corner of the room.
Okay.
After he walks away, I've got my arms crossed. I'm just going to shoot 2 fingers at Imogen and send a message. Whisper to myself for her, hey, that thing doesn't last forever. And he can get out if he tries. What are we doing here? I don't know.
Should we,
I feel like he's stalling.
let's look around a little bit. Where's Chet?
Meanwhile,
Her name was Lola. She was a showgirl.
Meanwhile, Chetney, you've kind of moved through this other, maybe at times 10 foot wide, at times maybe only 6 foot wide, sometimes a little wider. This kind of zigzagging kind of crevasse where part of the glass is kind of split up the top and kind of leads to this strangely like arcing point at the top, this kind of glass cavern with bits of rock that break through, and then it transitions into more stone with like the waves of glass coming, these kind of odd marbled striations of the sedimentary layers, essentially of Ruidus, moving inward deeper into the pillar. You've been following this for quite a bit, and it opens up into a smaller subchamber that then has nowhere other real exit other than across the way, where it kind of splinters off into another path. Like some sort of ancient exhaust or something pushed through here to create this opening that still remains. But about now you come into one kind of larger, I want to say almost triangular chamber that kind of opens up from where you are outward and then comes to a large glass wall deeper in the pillar. In this space, you can see like bits of rock jutting up from it and other glass pillars that kind of hit from ceiling to floor. But where the glass is, the broken kind of opening that leads deep within is obscured with multiple layers of barely visible golden geometry. like lattice patterns of some sort of extremely detailed glyph-like barrier. Multitudes of layers of it sitting densely one beneath the next.
Big red button, you guys. I'm sorry.
Just jump in. Yeah. Jump into
10
it.
years, you know what's happening. Okay, hey, up in First of all, while we've been walking, has there been any sort of tracks on the ground? Does it seem like treaded ground?
Make an investigation check for me. Investigation or survival, your choice.
So excited by this.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Best you can tell, none.
Okay. No dust disturbed. Okay. Cool. Can I give a smell to the air and use a little hunter's bane? Is there any indication of a living or undead type of creature in this room, this cavern, this triangular?
Make a perception check.
That was total shit. 6.
6. Hard to tell, and the reason is because as you kind of step into this chamber, there's been that kind of odd periphery kind of buzzing sense, that kind of like low, heavy subwoofer bass, like kind of like sitting underneath the atmosphere here. Where you stand now, it is loud, and it kind of it hits your senses, your sensitive wolven gnomish ears, in a way where you can feel like your eardrums are perpetually flickering, like they're just kind of twitching. Sorry, Liam. It is this kind of oppressive general vibration that you cannot pinpoint, that seems to be mucking with your senses, and it seems to just getting heavier and heavier the closer you've gotten towards this current boundary.
And from the opening where I'm at to where this golden lattice work is, what's the distance there?
It's about 130 feet, 140 feet maybe, from where you currently are.
I just want to touch it. I just want to go back and tell you.
Large pieces of like kind of rock pillars that are kind of pushed out of the ground, but kind of at an odd angle, almost like some sort of force long ago kind of blasted them back and kind of caused them to arc and freeze in place.
I should be a team player. I should go back and tell the others. You say only the good die young.
But I'm not good. I'm going to keep going into the room. And can I look for any sort of, in case this has been scoured before, any kind of traps or wards or anything that would ensnare somebody trying to cross to this exposed?
Sure. Make a
good rogue.
Make an investigation check for me if you don't mind.
Check for traps.
21.
21. You do not see any traps. You do not see any laid glyphs. You don't see any
like the way he said that.
Wires or lines.
Lifted his hand
it's just this kind of open stretch of this chamber that eventually comes to this opening with the boundaries there. Some raised platforms, glowing pulsing glass, but that's...
Can I cautiously cross the room about halfway, maybe 50, 60, 70-ish feet, and I'll take out one of the wooden discs. It's a C-Pop Industries exclusive. And looking at some of the golden lattice work, can I stone skip, like wing it like a frisbee into the wall?
Yeah, go ahead and make an athletics check for me.
Did Chet invent Pogs?
It's been a mainstay of my toy business for decades.
You have to make sure he dies.
It comes in and out of style, but Chetney never does.
I win, I get your slammer.
Natural 17.
This one's already in glass. 26. Woof, you chuck it, and it kind of arcs a bit, hits it. There's a little like just a blast of kind of arcane spark, a subtle kind of gold tinted kind of like flash, and it just kind of like skips off and hits the ground and comes to rest.
Can I go, I'm going to get closer and go pick it up and inspect it. Is it singed or burned or just kind of broken?
Just kind of like it hit something hard.
As I get closer, I'd like to get within like 15 to 10 feet of this. Is it moving, static, solid?
As you approach and you get a closer look at it, the faint kind of golden energy and light that's emanating from it, it is an endless fractal of woven glyph-like detail that like kind of like shifts together and moves like kind of like it's you saw patterns like this when Ira's telescope saw the outer kind of barrier that had set kind of an illusion boundary around Ruidus. This has some semblance to the weave of the Divine Gate. And it is just like you get close and you can see the larger glyphs that kind of shift and move and weave. And as you look in, they're made up of smaller glyphs that are made up of smaller glyphs. And it's just this kind of endless fractal to an infinitesimal point. And the multiple layers kind of move in different directions beneath each one. And you're not even sure how many there are.
I'm going to take out the staff of Dark Odyssey that I've been entrusted to safe keep and protect from the group. Put it on the ground behind me. And fuck it, I'm gonna reach out and touch it.
Oh, God.
Your finger touches it, and it's an immediate kind of like a resistance that is warm. It's like pressing your finger against a piece of solid glass or stone that is hotter than your body temperature. So it feels not enough to burn you necessarily, but it has its own kind of unique heat, and it just feels solid.
Oh, that's not so bad. It's not so bad. We could get through this.
Yeah.
I'll take out a little chisel. With all my centuries of craftsmanship, can I give it just one little hit into it?
You do. The hammer like bounces back, almost like it seems to be repelling it with an equal or close to equal amount of force that was put into it.
Okay, fuck you. Okay, cool. Not for me. Yeah, but no, I've been running for a while. I'm going to turn around, grab the staff, and start heading back up the walkway to where the rest of the route is.
While you're heading back, and turning to the chamber.
Oh, yeah, you were asking me.
That was just the perfect segue.
That's also true. Yeah.
Can I, in my mom's head, while Ludinus is monologuing, ask her, do you know?
Sorry.
Really?
I didn't think it was going to do that. I did.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't know that was going to be that.
Do you know how Ludinus planned on you getting through? On you becoming the vessel?
We hadn't gotten this far before, but through both of our visions, as far as I know, it requires someone carrying the mark of Predathos to press through the boundaries from this side to temporarily leave them traversable.
Okay.
It was from what he said, the true purpose of the Ruidus Born. To come back to this home and usher it beyond its cage.
Okay.
Ludinus is kind of looking over your troop a bit as you wander off, and you're all kind of still glaring at him. So I've devoted my life to knowledge, patterns, control. I've studied and mastered the whims of ambition, weaving well-worn pathways
I'm going to
of
misty step
tyrants.
to the tunnel.
Misty step to the tunnel?
To the mouth of the tunnel.
Okay.
And take off running.
Children are so impatient.
I'm listening. I was ready to hear the whole thing.
Okay. What's the DC on your force
Here we go. Here we go.
16.
Oh, that's
16.
it?
You all watch as